You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Sponsored by Treebor Soft Mints. Absolute Radio.
Hey, it's Not the Weekend podcast with Frank Skinner for Absolute Radio with Gareth and Emily.
Hi.
Hi, Frank.
Hi.
Worried about my hair. What do you think?
What aspect of it are you worried about?
Well, I looked at it. I just looked at it in the mirror. It looks like it's become like a small flame on my head.
Got a bit of a Tintin quiff going on.
You know that bit in the Bible when the disciples were all locked in their rooms and then flames appeared on their head? It looked like that.
Oh.
So what I've done is I didn't stay at home.
The day of Pentecost.
Yeah.
I don't think they were locked in separate rooms.
Did I say separate
They
rooms?
were locked in their rooms like they've been naughty.
Okay. Well, they're locked in a room.
You lot, well, I'm separating you.
Also, did they live in some form of
Stop the
student
bickering.
accommodation? Why were they all in separate halls of
Disciple
residence?
house.
They were in a kind of one big room.
Oh, were they?
I think it was like a studio apartment,
Studio.
and they locked
It
themselves.
was open plan.
But when I went to the barbers and they said, "What do you want?" I didn't say Pentecost.
Pentecost.
Go for it. Anyway, that's neither hither nor thither. I think you'll agree. I went to see Legally Blonde.
Oh, that sounds very up my strata.
It is. It's very well. The first song is called "Oh My God."
Oh.
So, and it's about girls in pink and stuff. It's brilliant. But before I'd got through the door, she wasn't teenage, probably early 20s, said to me, "Oh God, you won't like this. It's not your cup of tea at all."
Oh. Was it a filter? Was the door fitted with some sort of filter?
Yeah, well, it was.
No, not you.
It wasn't the door. It was the woman or girl at the door. It was very, and she said it was a very weird mix of sort of invert. It's almost like sort of like she was carrying an idiots only sign. She was like saying to me, you won't like this because you're a bit, it's mainly for us idiots. And I thought, well, first of all, don't be harsh on yourself. And secondly, how can you possibly know what my taste is in live entertainment?
Exactly.
And thirdly, how dare you?
Yeah.
Anyway, I carried on because I felt confident I would like it. It's the gayest event I've ever been to in my life. That doesn't make it a bad thing.
No.
But at one point I was saying to the friend sitting next to me, I said, what I like about this, is there's lots of celebrities here, but they're all very people who I don't really regard as proper celebrities, so I'm more relaxed.
Oh,
around
good,
them.
like you
That's
then.
good.
Yeah, I said,
Did you say that too?
I said my friend who was
Okay.
sitting
Yeah.
there, and I said, they're sort of comedy celebrities that are famous sort of to be laughed at more than anything else.
Are they wiki faces?
And she started nudging me, and I realised that Craig Revel Horwood was not 3 seats away.
Oh,
And
fabulous.
I thought, well, I'm sure Craig wouldn't think I was
Oh, no,
referring-
you obviously weren't talking about him.
No. But David Tennant was there.
Oh, that's very A-list.
Yeah, very A-list. And he was at the party after, and I have to admit, I was too frightened to approach him.
Were you? You needed
just-
you know what you needed? The OC.
Yeah, I know the OCs.
He's big pals with him.
Yeah, he is. He's like, it's
That could have
almost
been
like the
your in.
OCs is familiar. You know that thing
Like a witch's
You know the thing
familiar.
that Derek Acora is he called Sam or something? Sam, who introduced him to the spirit, people from the world of spirit. That's what I need. I needed the OC as my familiar who could bring me into the Tennant world. But we were at the bar together. It was a perfect moment to lean across and say, "I've seen your bed," or something
Oh,
of that
course,
nature.
yeah.
But I was too frightened.
Maze.
Too frightened.
Oh.
So I ended up speaking to someone from lighting. I'm not saying they weren't interesting.
What other celebs were there?
Oh, well, there was Simon Callow.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cowell. He must get that a
No,
lot.
he must get that a lot.
People say, who's coming? Simon
When he's on the
Hello?
phone. No,
Oh.
it's Simon and at the moment of Simon he hears a great burst of excitement, and then he says Callow, they go, oh.
Oh.
There was a bit where, in the interval, he was leaning. You know where sometimes people lean on the stage to talk to friends in the front row? He leaned on the stage, middle of the stage, facing the audience, in a real kind of, in case you haven't spotted me, by the way.
Well, you know what that was? I think it was a bit of territorial spraying. It's a bit, this is my area.
Of course, I'm allowed to touch the stage, don't you know, because I am an actor. I was in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, don't you know.
It's a fabulous impression. Congratulations. Who else?
He was called Gareth in 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
You were.
Move on.
So there was Craig Revel Horwood and him. And
Simon Oh, hello.
Yeah, and there was that bloke who comes on this morning and he's gay. I don't remember quite what he does.
Paul Ross?
No,
He's not gay.
No, he's very un-gay.
No,
Philip
very okay.
Schofield?
No,
He's not gay.
He's definitely not gay.
We're going to get sued.
No, anyway, so it was...
Are we going to get sued now?
What?
Well, no, because we've said...
Don't see me, I haven't got anything.
But I'll tell you something about... I'd recommend Legally Blonde, and something...
Talk to my lawyers.
It's the best dog acting I have ever seen in my life.
Is there a real dog, Frank?
There's 2 real dogs.
Well, that's not hard acting as a dog if they're a dog.
Yes, but I've worked with a few so-called stage dogs.
Careful.
Right, I know. If Chris Miles' nerve twitched, but I thought, not me, Buster. No, I've worked with a few dogs, and I hate you for even so. And then they turn up with their handlers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and their handlers, they have always got the job, because you've said, what I need him to do, I need him to be able to jump onto my lap at a given signal.
Can I ask you something?
Oh, yes,
Frank?
he'll do that.
Why does a handler always wear a sweatshirt, I find, as well?
Well, if you're dog handling,
Oh, well, that's
it's
true.
got to be something you can
You don't want to
rinse.
crack open the Versace.
No, because that'll be straight to the vet. So anyway, yeah, they always say, oh yeah, he can. If you know, can you make him bark? Yes, I'll just one word from me, he'll bark. And when they can never do anything. Absolute rubbish. You could just as soon have sent someone off to the park and just say, just get a dog. We'll make the best. Yeah, chances. They're just dog owners, not handlers. If it's even their dog, they often act as if the dog's never seen them before in his life. But these, first of all, there's like a small Chihuahua.
Is it a Chihuahua?
And he comes on stage and he goes up to the main character and goes... And she said, what was that? What happened? And he went... And it was incredible. There's a bit where he jumps over 3 things right into a bag and then sits down. I mean, amazing. Oh. And then there's a bulldog later on.
Oh, I'm less keen on that.
No, but he was very good. He was so
Bit
good.
Jamie Redknapp, though.
Because I thought, I'll never see another dog who can act as well as the Chihuahua.
Did he try and sell car insurance?
No, he didn't. But the bulldog was so good, I wondered if it was the Chihuahua in a skin. I thought the chances of getting 2 dogs that good... I can imagine the Chihuahua coming off, unzipping and going, "Whoa, it's hot out there tonight." Yeah, but I'd recommend Legally Blonde. You don't have to be gay to enjoy it.
No, but it helps.
Which is something I've said about so many things over the years, but I'm not going to name any of them. So you were out on the town, weren't you?
Yeah, I went out last night. It was an interesting situation. I think...
I think we'll be the judge of that.
I think as you get older, you get
So it was a situation at this stage.
Jury's still out.
I may be bigging it up by saying situation. I think as you get older, you get a bit more assertive. You become aware... you get to know yourself and you get to know others. And my friend invited me to a spoken word event.
Okay.
It was a theatre in Cambridge, and it was a spoken word artist he really likes called Polar Bear. I didn't mean to laugh when I said that. It's Polar Bear. It's his name.
What do you mean by a spoken word artist?
Well, it's kind of like
I'm
poetry.
a spoken word artist, I suppose.
Yeah, spoken word night, that's sitting in the pub with your friends, isn't it?
Spoken word. No, it's sort of like... It's poetry, but it's a bit cooler than poetry. It's a bit somewhere between rapping and poetry, usually. Something else.
That sounds
spoken
dreadful.
word.
Oh, well, I don't know. A polar bear.
It's poetry, but they don't want it to sound like poetry.
No.
And my mate asked me along, and he said that he'd already asked his other mate, and would I like to come? And I said, well, I'm happy to go with you, but if your other mate is definitely going, I'll not go.
Do you know the other mate?
No, I don't know. And you feel like you're being set up with other people's friends. Like I don't like it when
You sound like a jealous lover.
No, a friend of yours invites you to something that he's invited his other friends who you don't know to. I don't like the friends of friends.
You don't like people.
I don't
much.
like. I do like people. I don't like. I'm not very good with new people. That is the
But
truth
surely
of it.
that friend was a new people once.
It's like,
Yes.
okay, Gareth, Frank and I were friends of friends.
What friends do we have in common?
No, Frank and I.
right.
You and I don't have any friends in common. Frank and
Certainly
I.
not me.
Frank and I were friends of friends.
Frank and I.
And then we broke through.
Yeah.
Broke through the what?
Well, then we became
Partition.
friends.
Then we became actual
Oh, right.
friends.
We stopped being FOF and just became F.
Exactly.
You see? Yeah, that's what happened. So, having said that, I once I toured with a guy called Steve Best. Do you know him as a comic?
No.
Okay. He's
I've got a
alive.
friend who might know him. Oh.
Yeah. And I went out with him and his wife once, both very nice, who I knew,
Very
and
modern.
they brought a friend
Oh, yeah.
and a woman, and I have to say I didn't take to her at all.
Oh, God, was it me?
No, but I really didn't. No, it wasn't. I really didn't take to her. And
Oh, I love this. Hang on, I'm getting comfy. I love this story.
I'd say it was about 10:20 in the evening.
Why didn't you take to her, Frank? Come
I
on.
can't remember now, but I remember very clearly saying to her, you know, I really don't like you at all.
You did not.
I did.
Oh, so you
my
really didn't take
days.
to her?
Yeah, and it was an awkward moment. I
Yeah,
don't think
it
that'll
will be when you
Yeah.
say that to
It
someone.
wasn't. I don't think that's an overstatement, but I just felt it needed to be said. And
I bet that warmed up the evening a treat.
no, but it was towards the end of the evening. I'd given her several.
Can I
I'd
ask
given her-
you, were you single
I'd
at this
given her
time?
Labby Sifri albums by the score. Yeah.
Were they trying to sort of set you up? Do you
No,
think?
not at all,
Oh,
no.
just friends. Yeah.
No, just no.
No, they thought, you know who Frank will hate.
Yeah, I don't want a relationship when I hate them at the beginning. You know, that would be completely everything would. I go before my horse to market?
What was it about this woman that you took against? So
Well, I can't really. It wasn't a grey area. You know, it would have to be very strong for me to actually say, you know, I don't like you very much. But no. It wasn't just jealousy, because you do get friend jealousy. You know what I mean? You think, oh, I wonder where we are in the league table of their friends.
Also, Frank, don't you hate it when the friend's a friend? I hate friends a friend when they start going, oh, don't you remember when we did that
Yeah.
thing and we went
Yeah.
to Spain?
And it's always something before you met them.
Yeah.
Like old school friends. Thinking,
I hate
yeah,
it.
Yeah, we
and
get in there
I
first.
feel like I'm the one in the back of the car leaning through trying to talk to them.
Yeah.
That's how I feel at that
Yeah,
point.
I
and them
would have
not really
been.
listening.
and I would have been like they are both. I would have been the other friend. That's the thing, because I'm quite a gentle.
Yeah, you would. I'm not
person.
being rude, but you would have been.
have definitely
I
been
would-
the
yeah.
other friend.
I'm always
Not
the
there's
other
any doubt.
friend.
I don't know if you've even been the other friend. I think you might have
Just
been
had to sit
making up
in
the
back and
numbers.
Shut up.
Yeah, I think you'd have might been. I thought I'd better invite this bloke, so I hadn't seen him for ages. I think you might have even been that.
But I think something happened in the car. Well, there was a
Something happened in the car?
Was an incident?
on the way. I noticed something that confirmed my suspicions. I don't think I would have got on with this other friend.
They were both wearing the same school blazer.
No, he didn't. Just me and the friend went in the end. The other friend didn't.
You saw him off. He won.
Well, no, he wouldn't have liked this slightly arty spoken word situation. He thought it was a load of old rubbish.
I thought you
So he
didn't know
really
the
want
You
other
to
don't
say.
friend.
know him. Don't
Well, no,
you
that's
prejudge
what my
him.
friend said. My
Oh,
friend
okay.
said about the other
You
friend.
know
he
what
wouldn't have
he's
liked
trying to
it.
do now?
Yeah, and if you hadn't have gone, he'd have said that about you.
Exactly.
You
No,
say.
it's not true. Anyway,
He's
I got
trying
in
to
the
play
car.
you off against one, and actually being played like violins.
I noticed in the car on the inside of the windscreen, drawn in the condensation, was the genitals of a man.
Who had done what? The friend of the friend had done
And the
it.
friend of the friend had drawn that on. He's not my
Is that
sort of
right?
person.
Well, that's, so you knew where to sit.
Did he write in the dirt, if my wife was this dirty, I wouldn't leave the house in the morning?
No, he hadn't done that. But
Oh, okay.
I think
Well, let him
what he
off.
had done it spoke volumes.
What a
Yes.
horrible man.
I think you're right. I think I once saw written in the dirt of a white. Well, not written, drawn in the dirt of a white van, a really fabulous drawing of Hank Williams, the country and western legend. It was brilliant.
Wow.
And it just drawn in dust. And I thought, bit of rain and that'll be gone. It was honestly, it was one
Really?
of those moments in life where you think, oh, isn't. Well, I'll tell you what it was.
Reasons to be cheerful. Part 3.
Yeah, it was. Well, not necessarily part 3, but you know what I'm saying.
Three.
Yeah. Okay,
How
well,
many of those jingles have you got?
the trouble is with those other friends, they don't always know their place. That's the problem. Who was Polar Bear?
It was, well, the thing was, on the poster it said...
White backdrop, you couldn't see.
He
Is he on a little glacier mint?
It said on the poster...
if he stood on a mock glacier mint, say one about 18 inches across.
On the poster it said a departure from his normal style. So my friend was a big fan of what he normally does, but
Well,
he's
we
doing
all
something
are.
different,
Frank
which
and
is
I
a
are big
risk.
fans of...
Should we get him on as a guest?
We should. Yeah,
Does he
that'd
swear?
be good. No, I don't think so. He's a lovely man. He's from Birmingham.
Is he?
Mm.
God, this global warming's gone completely out of hand.
And what it was called a spoken film.
Oh, ridiculous. I don't want to hear any more about it.
Okay.
Emily, how's your week been?
What you might want to hear about, though, is something rather exciting. I've come up with a little bit of an invention. I've never had an invention before.
Yes.
But it occurred...
Never had an invention.
I've never invented anything.
Right.
Okay.
And this week, that's all changed. Because due to the adverse weather conditions this week, you may have noticed, last week, I apologise, very windy and rainy. My worst combo. Can't bear that. I don't mind a bit
It's not popular. It's not universally popular.
fine. I don't mind a bit of wind on its own. Don't mind a bit of rain on its own. But together, it's a lethal cocktail.
Yeah, you're right.
Because you get the upturned umbrella. Who can look good with that?
Oh, I hate the upturned umbrella.
It makes me feel sick. The humiliation. I just feel so mortal. I hate it.
I end up walking against the wind with the umbrella not sheltering me from the rain at all, but just having it go straight forward to try and stop it doing it. Because it happened to me once. It blew inside out. This is absolutely true. And somebody walking past as I struggled to get it back said, "Go on, get a life." And I thought, what do you mean, get a life? This is not something I've come out to do. This is not a pastime. I'm struggling here. Can you believe it? Anyway, so what's your invention then?
Okay.
A
Hear me
windshield
out.
of some kind?
No, it's still an umbrella. I honestly want to go on
You've
Dragon's
invented
Den
an
with
umbrella.
this. I want to go on Dragon's Den. Duncan Bannatyne, I think he'll be impressed.
Isn't Dragon's Den the name of your house?
Very
Carry on.
good. It's an umbrella.
That was the most... So, I'm completely blank.
So you
I'm
have
really
to
glad you
That's
busted
all right.
in there.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
When I was on the
that's-
cusp.
This week's competition is complete that sentence
That was the most...
from Gareth John Richards.
Yeah. So anyway... Oh, I've lost my place now, Frank. Yeah,
Your
my
invention.
invention. Oh, yeah. So, do you want to know what it is?
Oh, God,
it's
yeah.
an umbrella, but it's made of metal. So it's
I think I might have seen one of these before.
No, you haven't. It's a steel umbrella.
A steel umbrella.
Yes, but thin sheets of metal, like.
Oh, you
sort of-
mean sans canvas?
Yeah, no canvas at all.
Blimey.
Just steel. The whole thing is metal. It's retractable, goes
Heavy.
in and out quickly.
Bit heavy.
No, I've thought of that because it's made of whatever that substance they make business card holders with. It's made of that, like a
Steel.
little metal. Yes, but wafer thin, like sort of
Oh, right, so-
laptop Mac Airbook thin. And then it's retractable, one action, and that's it, in and out.
Stainless steel?
Yes, but that stains sometimes, I find.
Does it?
But it wouldn't be shaking water everywhere. It would protect
Wouldn't
you
it?
against the wind. No, because the water would just come off. It'd be dry in a second.
Won't the edges be quite sharp?
Yeah, you know when you walk along and you click umbrellas, or they'll be
Yeah.
sparking. There'll be
Yeah,
actual
you
sparking.
just-
It'd be like Ben-Hur. I'd love it. With the chariot racing.
You could slice the top of someone's head off. They
I
haven't
think
got
it
an
would have to
umbrella.
be heavy, though.
Yeah,
No,
I think it would be
they
quite
can.
heavy.
No, they can do things very aerodynamically now.
With steel,
Yes.
Well, don't
might need
ask
to be
me.
made of something else.
Oh,
I think it's a
my
good
judgment
invention.
is off. I was absolutely convinced that the umbrella hat was going to be a big thing. You remember the umbrella
What
hat?
was that?
It's just like a hat that you wear, like a cap. It straps onto the chin and it's got an umbrella fitting. When I first saw them, I thought, well, that's going to absolutely... Well, there'll be no umbrellas in 2 years' time. The umbrella... If I'd have had money, if I'd have been Dragon's Den, I'd have put everything into the umbrella hat. Where are they now?
Well, the thing is with that, when it's raining, I sometimes wear a hat, and that keeps the rain off my head.
Well, anyway, I don't think shall we call it a steel gamp? I don't think a steel gamp is going to catch on. Are you familiar with the word gamp?
No.
It's a term for umbrella. It's one of my favourites.
Oh.
Is it?
Another one is bomber shoot. Oh God! Yeah, I remember the. Do you remember the English character in Sergeant Nick Fury and his Howling Commandos?
No.
Well, he used to talk about his gamp and his bomber shoot.
Imagine if I turned up on Dragon's Den and I'd never told you. and you just suddenly saw me.
It'd be the best thing ever.
Would you love that? I'm going to do that.
With like 4 blokes hauling in the umbrella.
All oil torsos.
One of them accidentally drops it against himself and slices open his chest.
It's not sharp.
Blood everywhere.
Anyway, it's a work in progress.
I won't be invested.
I went. Are you out?
I'm out.
Okay. I went to.
You went to Legally Blonde, so you're already out.
But something else I went to this. I went to. They had a 20th anniversary dinner for Have I Got News for You?
Oh.
And I got invited. Now I was a bit surprised. I was invited, to be honest, because.
Yeah, but you're quite good on that. You've had good reviews when you've been on that.
Yeah, but I don't. I've only done it about 6, 7 times in 20 years.
It's quite a lot to be on the same programme.
Anyway, they. I ended up on like the captain's table. So there's like the boss of the production company, as Mark Thompson, the Director General of the BBC, some other major, and me. I felt like a competition winner. So I was there, and it was they were going to do speeches. Everyone, Paul Merton was going to do a speech, and the producer do a speech, Ian Hislop, and it was a fabulous tension in the air because obviously when you get comedians doing speeches like that, everyone in their head can see a sort of neon lit league table of best speech of the night. It's never mentioned, but there's a terrible. I was so glad I wasn't doing one. So I'm not going to say who won, but it was you could
Paul Merton.
No, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. But anyway, we got everyone who's been a host on the show got a special present. I've got mine with me, and I know, I know, visual stuff doesn't.
What is it?
I'm getting it out of my
okay.
my Undertaker's black bag. Ready? You'll love this. Okay. And there it is.
It says, have I got news for you? First broadcast, 28 September 1990 with... Oh, it's got all the names
all the
on
hosts.
it.
On
from
a,
Des Lynam
on a
to
tea
Jack
towel.
D.
On a tea... It's a souvenir tea towel.
Oh, and they've even got Sanjeev Bhaskar on there. That's sweet.
But how good is that, a souvenir tea towel? That put... I've mixed...
How good is it?
You know, Princess Diana was on.
A tea towel?
Yeah.
Can I be honest? I think that's a bit tight.
What?
I think it's a bit broken Britain, that tea towel.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry, Frank. You go to a big anniversary dinner like that, I want more than a tea towel.
No, I thought...
I'm not saying Tiffany key rings.
Basically, it suggests washed up. That's what a tea towel
I hadn't thought of that. Isn't it more dried up?
Yeah, dried up.
Yeah.
Well, once it's
No,
washed,
it's not, because Sanjeev Bhaskar's
once
on
it's
there.
washed up.
It's ironic that I'm both dried up and washed up when you think about it. Both those things have happened to me. No, I thought I was pleased with it. I say, you know, our Queen of Hearts used to be on tea towels.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I'm just telling, that sounded rude. I don't know why it did.
So what else happened on the night?
Duchess of Cornwall not on many tea towels.
No.
Often. I think she's been on a couple of J cloths.
Yeah.
As an experiment. So that, and I ended the night. There was me and Joe Brand and a guy called Dave Cohen, and we sat around playing a game called Whose Line Is It Anyway? Which is not what you think it is. It's you have to say a joke. And you have to say which comedian used to do that joke on the London comedy circuit in the late 1980s.
Very good.
It's a very enjoyable thing. We sat there. Oh, I could have spent the whole night doing it. But I was pleased to be invited. But like I say, it wasn't to do with me. And then also someone said to me, I said, I read your thing about blah, blah, it's very good. They said, you'll like my next one. It's very you. It's about pathos.
Oh.
And I thought, does he think I was in the Three Musketeers? No, but what did he mean by that?
Well...
Do I deal in pathos?
No, maybe he just meant you were sensitive.
That sounds like some Greek drug seller.
Maybe he just meant you were kind of quite sensitive and empathetic.
I'll take that. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll take that as my interpretation.
I really like Have I Got News for You, but Laura absolutely hates it. Like
Does
it's
she?
her worst programme.
Why?
I think she can't stand the sight of Ian Hislop.
Oh, my God.
I don't think she likes the look of him.
But you don't judge
Doesn't find
people
him funny.
I doesn't find him funny.
I don't think so.
Oh,
No, I don't think
you
she
can't
doesn't
please
like the whole
everyone.
programme. Maybe it's a boys' programme.
He's such a lovely
I do
man.
like it, Em.
Maybe it's a boys' programme. Oh, 1973. I sometimes watch programmes that
born in
men watch as well. I've been known to.
Like
I don't
what?
always watch my ladies' soaps every day. Come round yours. The soaps are on him. That's what you say.
I don't know. I'm surprised. I've never met anyone who doesn't like it.
You've met Laura.
Well, I didn't know. She didn't bring
right.
it up early on. What? And it's just based on his Loppian.
I don't know. There may be other factors, but no, she particularly doesn't like him.
I'm glad we've cleared that up.
Well,
I
I'm
think
sorry.
she thinks he's snidey.
Oh,
She's a
come
bit
on.
negative about things.
What? She thinks he's tinchy snidey. He's quite tinchy, actually. That's what she should call him if she's telling us that. She's calling him tinchy snidey from now on. Not that she can really relevant. She doesn't watch it. Do you watch it?
Yeah, I really like it.
Well, that must be a bit. How does that go
marital
down
discord.
in the evening then?
It's okay. I watch it, and she does.
She does the
something else.
chicken wings.
I was going to say, Frank,
I did.
it's hardly the apprentice night in with the wings.
No, it's not. Well, I'm sorry to hear that we've split the camp somewhat, which is something else I did at Legally Blonde. That's the last time I drink Pimm's.
After you'd cracked open the Versace.
Yeah, exactly. No, that wasn't deliberate. I didn't know. It's so tenuous. So yeah. So and the saddest story of the week. I don't want to end on a sad note, but when I was in South Africa with Emma, our producer, is here at my side now, at my very side, and David Biddle, we spent some time passing the Wild at Heart set in the. I say set. It was an area of grassland. We saw quite a lot, and the driver we had, he what was he? Ernest, yeah. Ernest,
Oh, great
Ernest
name.
would say, I nearly did the accent. He'd say, we used to work there, yeah. Right? I did do the accent. Not well, but I did it. To hell with it. And they have a giraffe is a regular. I don't know if he's a character on there. I think he's more background stuff. But this week he was struck by lightning.
Oh.
Now, I'd never, but apparently it's an occupational hazard
I could imagine.
for giraffes.
Yeah,
because usually you don't go anywhere high
the
if there's
tallest
lightning.
of the animals.
Yeah, tallest of the animals.
And Stephen Merchant, it might affect him as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's ever guested on him, but that would be, yeah, giraffes would be sheltering under him. But I thought, well, that's a terrible. I mean, apparently the cast were very upset about it. But I thought a giraffe struck by lightning, tragic, but worth seeing.
Wow, that's true.
Because I imagine it would be like, remember when Tom and Jerry, when Tom, was it Tom? Which was the cat? Tom.
Yeah.
When Tom got electrocuted
Yeah.
and the whole skeleton would show through. That's what I imagine.
And they have the zigzags all around.
You'd get that flash, yeah, and then you could see the whole giraffe skeleton. I'm thinking, the modules, the skull modules, I think they'd start shining at the end like headlamps.
Surely they should fit them with some sort of rod, a lightning rod, up the side of the giraffe with some sort of insulation to draw the strikes.
I've often said that about giraffes. They need
that
earth.
That
They
can
need to
be
be
my
earthed.
well, with your steel umbrella.
It's all
Maybe you
happening.
could put a steel umbrella on top of a giraffe.
But
No,
Rob-
that would make
They
it
could
worse.
probably get satellite TV with that.
They need to be. If you're going to earth one, you need a leg caliper. A leg caliper with a drag-in section that touched the floor would have been all right. But of course, they're expendable, so I don't suppose they get.
Never mind that, Frank. Where was Stephen Tompkinson when all this was going on? In makeup?
I think he was hosting Opinionated in some terrible mix-up.
Oh, yeah, because he's your looky-likey.
He is my looky-likey. So they say. To me, he looks like a pale, drawn character. But maybe I do to other people. To me, I look like, Sir Trevor MacDonald. Is that right? Can I say I had a terrible moment at a football match very recently? I was sitting next to this chap who I've spoken to before, but I don't know who he is. I don't know his name or anything. And we were watching the game, and we're talking about one of our blokes who play wide, wingers, as they used to call them. One of them was limping a bit. And I said, the trouble is, we got no wide players on the bench. And he went, a bit nervously. And I thought, well, it wasn't such a... And then I realised, I thought, he thinks I've said white players. He thinks I've said the trouble is we've got no white players on the bench, and I thought, and he's not gonna think that's just a casual observation. He's gonna obviously associate that with all sorts of terrible things about me. But I thought I can't.
You can't.
I can't say to it. By the way, I said white. I said wide. I don't need to think I said white, because obviously that then looks like you did say it.
Yeah,
and you think,
yeah.
oh, he's not a brother in arms. I better. Oh, it was.
So what did you do? You left it hanging there.
I left it. So he's gone away thinking I'm some sort of racist.
Oh, you shouldn't have left it hanging.
No, why?
Well, what I would have then done.
Yeah.
And this is the difference between you and I would have constructed an anecdote involving the word white, which I would have pronounced very differently. Then he would have realised. Do you see?
Oh. You see, I started talking quite a lot about my comic relief work. And I thought that would balance it. But he has gone away thinking I'm a racist. It's, I don't know how to try something out. What can I do? Perhaps if I turned up in the full African gown next and the ethnic hat. Would that help?
I'm not sure that will help.
Is that a mistake? Maybe in the West Brom colours. No? Well, I'll think of something.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio, the softest, mintiest show in town. Sponsored by Tree Bar Soft Mints.